175 days, 10 hours and 25 minutes and counting before the next Bitcoin halving. Well, what is the Bitcoin halving and what does it do to the Bitcoin price? That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Got crypto? Got a hardware wallet to keep your crypto safe? Then you have to have one of these to keep your seed phrase safe. The Keystone tablet is fireproof, waterproof. You can use it to store 12-word, 18-word, 15-word, 24-word seed phrases. It comes with a full set of letters and everything you need to make sure that your seed phrase never gets destroyed or disappeared. Get one, get two, get three, have multiple copies. Use my affiliate link in the description below.
Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. And as you know, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin in this video. Now, before I continue, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, join my official Telegram announcements channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, come on, please, in the spirit of Bitcoin, in the spirit of freedom and censorship resistance, subscribe to me on ThreeSpeak, bit.ly/CryptoRich3Speak. I own my content. You earn Hive tokens for watching content and then use those Hive to go and buy yourself some Bitcoin. Hive, by the way, is a fork of Steam. You can also follow me on Odyssey, bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey. I'm also on Rumble, which, surprise, is bit.ly/CryptoRichRumble. Okay, so what is the Bitcoin halving? Well, the next Bitcoin halving is happening on around about April the 12th, 2024. But what is it? And what impact does the Bitcoin halving have on the price of Bitcoin, if any at all? Now, this is a chart from CoinMarketCap on CoinTrader, and it shows it's going back to April 2013. Now, the first halving actually took place in 2012, and I'm going to tell you what that is because you're going to hear more and more about it. And it does affect the price, and it does affect the supply, and I'll explain how. Now, the chart goes all the way through to today, and today is the 20th of October, and the price of Bitcoin currently is $28,500, right? But that may vary by the time you get to watch this video. Okay, so what is the Bitcoin halving? So the price of anything is always a function of supply and demand. So if, for example, there were like Rolls Royces were being produced at the same rate as Toyota Priuses, then it's likely that a Rolls Royce would have the same price as a Toyota Prius, but the supply is low. And also with Rolls Royce, the demand is low, but that's kind of like the price is so high as well, right? That has something to do with it. But essentially, we use gold as money because the supply is fixed and can't be increased. And gold has other properties like you can't make gold out of anything else, and you have to do work to extract it, work in the form of all the energy that is expended in extracting the gold from the ground. So the demand is high because gold is the foundation of all money systems, including Bitcoin, including silver, including the dollar. Everything is referenced against gold. And everybody's been using gold for thousands and thousands of years as something to trade with, as an exchange of value. It is the original form of money, but the supply is low and it's shrinking. Why is it shrinking? Because it becomes harder and harder to mine. But the demand still keeps going up because people want gold, especially in times of monetary inflation where governments are printing more and more. And in doing so, the value of the dollar and the pound and the other fiat currencies that the governments are printing, they're losing purchasing power. You know, in 1970, a family of 5 could go to the supermarket and get an entire week's shopping for £5. Now it costs for a family of 5 something like, I don't know, 150, 180, maybe £200 for the same basket of goods for a week. Now, that's not because the goods have got more expensive. It's because the supply of the currency of the pounds has increased so much that you need more of them to purchase the same amount of goods, because by increasing the supply, you have lowered its purchasing power. Now, Bitcoin uses the similar models because Bitcoin was designed by Satoshi Nakamoto to be a form of money that was independent of the banking system. And it has subsequently spawned all sorts of forms of money that are independent of the banking system that have major advantages over Bitcoin. And one of them that I like, and this is a plug for it, I don't get any money for this plug or anything, right, is Pirate Chain. Pirate Chain is fully private, much faster to transact with, and it has anonymity and privacy that Bitcoin doesn't. But never mind, stay with the Bitcoin halving. Pirate Chain has halving every 270 days, by the way. Bitcoin halving has every 4 years. And it's designed to mirror what happens with gold, that you have to go deeper and deeper and deeper, expend more energy to get less and less gold. So the supply of gold coming online reduces over time. Same deal with Bitcoin, except it works on a 4-year cycle. So how Bitcoin was launched, I think in the January 2009, somebody or somebody's called Satoshi Nakamoto released the code for Bitcoin, this internet money that couldn't be double spent. Like I can copy a PDF and then make many copies of PDF and send it around. Well, Satoshi Nakamoto solved that problem. You can't copy Bitcoin. If you do copy it, it ain't Bitcoin no more because of the way the code is managed and run and kept up to date. So he released the code in 2009 and people started running this code on their computers. You could do it on PCs, right, at the time. And that's what's called Bitcoin mining. You run specialized computers to run that code. And every 10 minutes, what happened was 50 Bitcoin were created. Every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoin. In 2012, that halved from 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. All of a sudden, it just dropped. And then it stayed at 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes until 2016. And then it halved to 12 and a half. And then in 2020, it halved to 6.5 new Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And that's where we're at right now, 6.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Now, in 2024, at some point in April, mid-April, late April, don't know as yet, the number of new Bitcoin that will be released every 10 minutes is 3.25. Now, the other thing that's happening at the same time is this growing awareness of the importance of Bitcoin, of the inflation of the fiat currencies that governments are just printing them away, printing them away, printing away. But there's growing awareness of Bitcoin, and there's more and more people getting involved in the Bitcoin space. And you can see that by looking at the volume bars. This is going back to January 2014, and there was a dump there, right, of Bitcoin from this high. I think it touched about $1,200, just under $1,200, and it dumped November 2013. And you can see the volume bars here. But then in July 2016, look at the amount of volume, the amount of Bitcoin being traded. This is just tiny compared to that. But then you go through history, look at it, it's just appeared. It's off the scale. It's like a little dot, that big peak. And you see that throughout Bitcoin's price history. So the volume of Bitcoin traded currently is ginormous, magnitudes bigger than what it was back in 2014 and 2013, because there's more and more awareness. Now, as it goes into a peak, and I'll explain why and how they happen, then there's even more interest in it, more people rushing because, they buy when the price is high, and then they sell when the price drops in order to recover some of their losses, versus buying here when the price is low. So you have growing awareness, which results in growing demand and limited supply. So price goes through the roof. Now, this is a chart that was printed in September 22nd, 2019. So it's a few years old, but it shows what happens with the Bitcoin halving, the effect that it has on price. So you have the halving here, and then you have a strong bull run. Then you have a bear market and it drops. So the price drops and it new low, but notice that this low is much, much higher than this particular low. And it's still higher than this all-time high. And then you have accumulation periods. There's a first accumulation, then an expansion, then another accumulation period. And then comes the halving, and then it accelerates. So that's like when the bull run really takes on a life of its own. Then you have a year-long dip, the bear market for a year, and then an accumulation phase, then a little expansion, then another dip, which is where we're at right now, then the halving. And the halving took place in May 2020. And then what happened in November 2021? Well, we had new all-time highs of 69,000, and then the price collapsed. And you can see that here in the chart that I created. So you had all-time high November 2021, 69,000, then it collapsed, and it went to lows of about just under 16,000. And then it, like from this period here, the bear market, and then you have an accumulation phase, and now we're in this expansion phase. Now the halving is going to be in April 2024. Where's it going to go next? Compared to where it was here, compared to where it was here, look at that. And compared to the previous high, which isn't shown here, where is it? In 2013, which was about $1,000. Don't you wish you'd bought Bitcoin for $1,000 in January 2013 and held on to it, and then it's 69,000 10 years later? Now, where's Bitcoin going to be in 10 years' time? Oh, because these halvings are every 4 years until there's no Bitcoin left, which is sometime in 2140 or something. So the next halving is in April 2024, and it'll be 3 1/8 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Then the one after that is in April. Actually, I don't know when in April, but it'll be in 2028, and that'll be half of 3 1/8. It'll halve even less, and then it will be 2032, and it will go down by half every 10 minutes, and then next halving 2036, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And all the time there's growing awareness of Bitcoin, and all the time the governments are just going to be printing more and more fiat in order to fund their wars and fund their net zero boondoggles and all the other nonsense until it all becomes worthless. And people rush to gold and rush to silver and they rush to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is new money for the internet. Now, if you've got some Bitcoin right now, I recommend, not financial advice, but certainly what I'm doing is I'm accumulating a little bit every month. I'm accumulating. And I'm interested in where the price of Bitcoin is going to be, not in 4 years' time, but in 8 years' time, in 12 years' time, in 16 years' time. I think there is going to come a point where one Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million. Let me know what you think. Comments and questions in the description below. Please share this video far and wide in between now and when I see you next. Please keep filling your pockets with peace and profits. It's Crypto Rich signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.